Acts of violence are physical events, but they're also stories, and the kind of stories with too many sequels. One way to change the narrative is by telling a different story, shifting the focus and the sense of possibility. Some young people in Boston have been doing that through works of art, and these will be sold and auctioned September 27th at the Yawkey Boys and Girls Club in Roxbury. The event's called Pieces for Peace, and it takes place from 3 to 6 p.m. Our guests are one of the contributing artists, a student at Boston Arts Academy, Jhair James, and his father, Michael James. I'd like to thank you both very much for being with us.
Let's be here.
I want to start with Jhair. I know you're studying art. That explains part of this here, but why did you take on this subject?
When I was generating ideas, because before this was a big event that is going to be, it was actually a school project called Senior Grant Proposals, where I had to generate artist activism ideas. It seems like everybody was trying to attack it their own individual way, but what I hadn't seen was somebody trying to attack violence, because during that time period when I was generating ideas, I was hearing several cases. People were still trying to cope from the Trayvon Martin case. There are a few other cases going on, and even going later into the summer, including the case, the Ferguson case, and the shooting at the carnival in Dorchester. It just brought it to my attention that peace is a serious need, and violence is throughout the entire city.
I know Trayvon Martin, you're allowed to think he was a 14-year-old who was shot just because somebody thought he was in the wrong turf. What about your own life personally, people you know in the family? Have you ever been touched that closely?
Yes, actually. People who I have known in my school before I went to the Boston Arts Academy, violence was everywhere, and they've been affected by it, they've been impacted by it. And also a few people in my own family I've known. There was this one man who was really nice, and I only got to know him for about a year before he was gunned down by violence. It was just absolutely devastating for me.
Michael, in your family, you don't just have things happen to you like this. You also try to do something about them.
That's true. In our family, we've always viewed ourselves as we're very fortunate and we need to give back and support. So one, we've done a lot of community initiatives, especially through our church, Greater Love Tabernacle, to give back. So we do an annual bike ride for peace, where Jhair also volunteers. And then we also host an annual dinner, Thanksgiving dinner for families affected by violence, where we basically have speakers. We provide a turkey and all the trimmings to support families that have been affected by violence, because it's one of the things we feel dear about.
Jhair, talk about some of the work you have here. This right in front of me, it reminds me of things I've seen on some of the sidewalks of Boston, sometimes with peace marches going by.
Yeah, so this is actually of a dove, and what I had done to get this was, actually I didn't do this, my younger sister and my younger cousin actually made this. This was crafted in about an hour and a half, and before they had no prior knowledge on how to paint. And so I took the time, we sat down, thought of what peace meant to us, and the first idea was a dove. And so we had generated this overnight, and here it is to show.
And what he didn't mention is that his sister is 11 years old and his little cousin is 6 and did this nice art.
This says something, the whole family working on this, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Jhair, what about your school? I mean, you talked about being taught art is an activism. What does that mean?
It means not only knowing how to draw, how to paint, how to do artwork, but also knowing how to apply it and where to use it in life, and how to use it to make a difference and to actually, for the art itself to make sense in society. It's fine to know how to paint. It encourage that everyone learn something to express themselves, but the real test is to see how you make it apply to the community where they can relate, they can love it, and they can use it.
So how do you see what you're doing and the other students contributing to this event affecting things?
I see contributing art and as much time and help as possible is it's absolutely vital. I think that the artwork itself is the literal backbone of my event. So it's very important to me.
Michael, talk about the importance of this in your film, because a lot of families, they want their children to do well in school. They want them to study things that will help them get jobs. And sometimes people say, well, studying the art, I don't know how that's going to work out. What was your feeling about this?
I strongly encourage Jhair to do what he feels is in his heart. And I also say that we all have an obligation. We're very fortunate. We need to give back and support others. We're blessed. And so he's using his gifts and talents to give back. One thing I wanted to say also is that there's a lot of community members in Boston who are traumatized due to this reoccurring cycle of violence. And so what Jhair is doing and leading is very significant because it's therapeutic. Those that have been affected by violence have a lot of stress, and through these art classes that he's teaching them ways to express themselves in a nonviolent, positive way, and also relieve some of their stress. And so it's very powerful. I didn't know how to draw or do any type of art a month ago, and now I stay up painting portraits because Jhair's a great teacher.
Jhair, talk about one of these people you were working with in the class, and because there's something that we have on the screen here that shows that. And explain that picture a little bit.
So the picture on display is actually belonging to someone named Elder Doolin, Barbara Doolin, who is a minister at the Greater Love Tabernacle, which is in Dorchester. She was extremely compelled to do this because she wanted to make something that conveyed community and a sense of unity, and that life was more than just a game. And I find that was a very powerful idea to take off from.
And when you look at that, those heads all close together, what do you read from that?
I read unity. I read they're together. This is one community, not just individual people scattered everywhere. This is one molting pot of people, not only as a community in Boston, but as their diversity aspects. There's black, white, there's all different shades of people. We're all one.
And what do you get from working with people who are the survivors? Because you think of artists as technique and vision sometimes, but what do you get from spending time with people who've been through this?
When I spend time with people who have gone through this and who are willing to donate their time to create these pieces, I kind of get a sense, I get sort of a sense of reverence. I respect how they feel about this and also what they go through. I understand, and it takes it to even higher level when they share with me why they're here and why they're doing this.
And Michael, we should remind our viewers this event, the auction and the sale of the paintings, will be on the 27th September?
Yes, at the Yawkey Club in Roxbury. And all proceeds will go to the Peace Institute, who basically is an organization that continues to promote peace throughout the year. And we're really encouraging everyone to come out and support.
Of course, that's the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute. I'd like to thank you both very much for being with us, Michael James and Jhair James.
Thank you.